Good morning, everyone. So last session, we learned about how to create controlled components, and we discussed about working with another concept is conditional rendering. So controlled components and conditional render. These two concepts we learned. In conditional rendering, different situations we discussed. Conditional rendering means a component can change according to the situation. It can render different types of content. So already few examples I showed you how to handle conditional rendering. Now one more concept we will see. I told you that we can handle by using different state management techniques. Let's see one example. Conditional rendering. We designed one component which renders different information. Another inside component, according to situation, different content may display. We will create one example for that. So verifying whether user logged in or not. So this is our application. Right. Okay. In this, we created a simple login like screen. In that, if user is logged in, it will show some message. If not logged in, it will ask him to log in. Let's see how to manage this through conditional rendering. And for that, what is the basic requirement is you can use any client side state management techniques. You can use any client side state management techniques. You know, already I explained state management when we are discussing about use state. What is why we need state management? Because we are developing web applications. Web applications use which protocol? HTTP, and HTTP is a stateless protocol. That means it cannot remember information between requests. For that, we need state management techniques. We have client side as well as server side. In JavaScript, what are the state management techniques and how to use them? We'll see. Actually, in JavaScript, they are available. We can use them in React also. What are the state management techniques of JavaScript which you can use here? One is we will see how to use a session storage. Session storage. In JavaScript already you know, but in many React interviews, they ask this question. Several React interviews, they ask the question, what is difference between session storage and local storage. That is very common in React interviews. In JavaScript, you already know them. Actually, what is session storage? Actually, session storage it is temporary storage. Session storage is a temporary storage. So what is the meaning of temporary storage means? It is memory allocated. It is memory allocated for a browser. In browser actually. Memory allocated for a page in browser. It is memory allocated for a page in browser. And what is the point about this? Why it is temporary? Because it is deleted automatically when user closes browser tab. You can say browser tab or window. Automatically the memory allocated is deleted until you kept open the browser, it is available. So it is the memory allocated for a page in browser. This memory is available until you open the browser. Once you close the browser, that memory is deleted. So it is removed. The memory is removed, automatically deleted when user closes. And another problem is, so it is accessible only from the same tab where it is allocated. It is accessible only from the same tab where it is allocated. You cannot access across tabs. That means it is not accessible across tabs. That is another important point. Session storage is a temporary storage. It is the memory allocated for a page in browser, and it is automatically deleted when user closes the browser. It is accessible only within the tab. So generally, syntax, how do you define session storage dot set item? We have a key and a value. Value can be any type. Key is a string and value can be any type. So session storage and session storage have get item and the key. So we can remove by using remove item key. Session storage dot clear will remove all. set, get, remove, and clear. These are basic methods of session storage. So that is the memory allocated. Let's see how this works. In our design, we will create one design. We are learning about conditional storage. That means conditional rendering. So what we will do is, here we will create a simple design. Just let's keep one design. I will keep this empty. All this is empty. Okay. Now let's start up. And create one simple interface. So in this component, we just have a heading, and we want to just toggle the nav bar and verify whether user logged in or not. Suppose I have a simple nav bar at the top, and what we will do in the nav bar, here we need to put some content. What is it is, we will create a simple login. Suppose input type is text, and that's a simple input type text, and placeholder. So username, and we have a button. So sign in. Okay. BTN some warning something. This is just one simple design we are having. Actually, this div will have another div, class W25, and input group, and class form control. Okay. It just looks like an input group. I think 50 looks fine. Okay. Without this, how much it is showing? Let's see, left and right. Okay, this looks okay. Right side we are having we have username and a sign in button is there. Now what should happen is, when user is not signed in, this screen should come. If user signed in, his name should come. Later in our project, we will design projects. When we design a project, we can put his photo or some other information also. Initially, what is the basic? We have to know whether he logged in or not. If logged in, his name. If not logged in, ask him to log in. That is conditionally rendering different content inside the component. Let's see how. How any website knows whether their users logged in or not. They use various state management techniques. In that, one technique is we are having a session storage. Okay. Now let's see the session storage, how it is going to work. First step, what we want here is, we want, when user login, we want to create a session. let's do one example here. So we will create a state constant username, set username. This is username and set username. Okay. Use state username is empty. Now what we need to do? We need to collect username from this text box. How to collect already we know. Because only one element is there, we will write a function. So this use effect as of now not required. What is the function? Handle user name E. How to collect the value from text box already we know. What is it? Set username E dot target dot value. Okay. We should bind this to the text box on change handle username. So we are collecting the username from the text box and storing in this location. After that, we will write function handle sign in click. On sign in click, we have to create a session storage. In that we need to store this username. So we have session storage dot set item key. Key is username and value. Value is the username you collected from text box. Whatever value you collected from the text box, that value we are displaying here. So we are collecting value from the text box. That value is used here. This should work when user clicks sign in button on click. On click, what is it? Handle sign in click. On sign in click, it should create the storage. Let's check first up to this, it is working or not. I will inspect. In the debugging tools, you have to go to application category. Application category. When you inspect, you will find application category. Go to that application category. In application category, you will see storage. In the storage, you see we have a local storage and we have session storage. Go to session storage. Session storage of our React application. Currently session storage key value empty. There are no keys and values. There is nothing stored. We will enter username. Okay. And I click on sign in. When I click on sign in, you can see the session storage created. What is the key? The key is username and the value is what? David. So session successfully created. And remember, if session is not created, that means what is the username? For example, I will delete the session. I will right click and delete. You can delete. So what we will do is we will use effect. Use effect means when component mounts. When component mounts, what should happen? When component mounts, what should happen? I will use console.log session storage dot get item. What is the item we are expecting? Username. It is the key. Observe here in console, you will see it is null. So depends on different sessions. Actually, some memories will return null. Some memories will return undefined. Some memories will return empty string. So as a developer, first you should know what it is returning if there is no value. Some sessions some memories will return null. Some memories will return undefined. Some memories will return empty string. As a developer, first we should know what it is returning. Is it null? Is it undefined? Is it empty? Why you need this? Because we need to write one logic. What is it here is, observe now, we understood that it is returning null. Okay. Now let's go to application category. What should happen is, in the use effect here, we will write a condition. This username related box, this username related box, I will keep as a div. Okay. This is actually username box. This username box must be displayed if session storage is null. Am I right? If session storage is null. So how do you verify and display this area? I will cut it. I will put a dynamic value. That means we will put dynamic value here. Okay. We will put a dynamic value. What is the condition? Condition is what? Session storage dot what? Get item. Get item. What is the key name? Username. This is the condition. If username is equal to null, what does it means? What does this sentence means? It means that user still not logged in. Am I right? User still not logged in. Then question mark. What should display? If user still not logged in, that login screen should come na. So we will put that login screen here. Understood? Question mark. Question mark is just the condition. Just for your clarity sake, I am separating. Okay, if it is logged in, then what? Colon true. If it not logged in means null. If it is logged in means if it is not null, what to do? If it is not null, what we have to do here, I will keep another div. In this div, we will display the username. Who logged in his name? How to get that? How to get that? Simply, what is it? So session storage. Session storage. Here we have to use dynamic, na? What is it? Session storage dot what? Get item. Whose name? Username. We have to get that. That is the conditional render. If this condition is matching, it will render this area. If not matching, it will render this area. Understood? We cannot write a if condition in JSX. Then we have to write this is a ternary operator. In ternary operator, this is the condition. When condition true, render this. If condition false, render this. Okay. Now observe here what we are doing. This is the option. You can render anyway. Just like suppose render like a heading style, or here itself what we will do, we will put a class name, font size as some 4, font weight as what? Bold. Like this we will use. Now observe here and BI person fill something like this. Now see what happens now. Username is empty. I will refresh this. Username is currently empty. I will enter some data. What is it? Some name. I click on sign in. When I click sign in, you see username comes here. When username comes here, component is not mounting. Na? Component mounts only once, am I right? Component mounts only once. Component is not mounting. That means whenever session have a value, it should mount. So you see, when I refresh now, when I refresh here, you can see it will come. When I refresh, it is coming fine. Why? Because I logged in. I logged in. Here I want one more, logged in, and I want to display a message. We'll keep a button. Beside this, we will keep a button. We'll say sign out. So class BTN link, and I will give MX2, something like this. Now you see it will display sign out. But it is working on refresh. Observe carefully. I will select this username and right click and delete. When I deleted that, after deleting, I will refresh once. I refresh, then it will show the login screen. Because I logged out now, but actually it should work in a continuous scenario. Like what? When user enters, the component should mount again. Now, how do you mount the component again? This is component mount. Na? How do you mount the component again? At the time of mounting, actually I written all the condition here only. You can write at the time of mounting also. You remembered I told you about dependency, na? What this dependency indicates? What is its purpose? Every component mounts only once. What is this dependency? It tells when to mount again. Tell me when to mount again. Huh? When session storage is changing, that means, for example, I am writing here, what is it? Session storage dot get item. What is it? User name. I'm just using session storage username. That means it is depending on that particular value. It will mount again. You entered some data and you click on sign in. You see session storage got that. But it is not displayed. I refresh, then it will come. I should not refresh. At the mount itself, it should come. But here you see, if this is just only getting the value, here there is no condition. Now, what is our condition? If session storage is having a value, then display. Session storage is not having the value, then display something else. That means display username when session storage have a value. Remove that when it is not having a value. That means our page should mount again. Actually, because we haven't learnt this dependencies, because I told you now we will learn this in hooks concept separately. When we learn about hooks, then we will learn more points about it. We haven't learned that. Actually, you can do one more simple here. After this sign in click, we will use window dot location dot reload. This is nothing but what will happen, page will reload. Observe now, I will delete this, refresh. You see here, I am entering some data and I click on sign in. Then it will reload and it will display. Actually, we don't need to reload because according to single page applications, they should render without reloading. In your general JavaScript, we do like this. In general JavaScript based applications, we do like this. First, we will implement this. Then you will understand how to handle the dependencies also, right? When sign out click, what should happen? When sign out click, this session must be deleted na? And observe carefully what is the problem. Here, I will copy this URL. I will open in another tab. In another tab, when I access it, it is going to ask username. That means we are accessing from another tab here and it says username. But it is available in this tab na? So what is the limitation? Session storage is available only for a tab. It cannot be accessed across tabs. If another tab you open, it is deleted. You can have to do the transaction in the same. You see several bank apps. What those bank apps will do, the bank applications, what they do, they will not allow to open any transaction in another tab. Some transaction is going on. You copy that URL, paste in another tab, then it will sign out. Have you observed that? Why? Because that is accessible only in the tab, because it is what kind of storage? Session storage. And not only that, observe now, I will close the tab. I will close this tab. After closing the tab, I will open again. I will open again. Now it is gone. When you close the tab, the memory allocated is deleted. You see, inspect. In the inspect, what you do, you go to application. In the application, session storage is deleted. Even you don't delete it, session storage is deleted. You see now, I entered something, sign in, it signs in. It is created na? When I click sign out, what should happen? It should delete this particular session and it should load again. So what we will do? We will write another function. What is the function? Handle. Handle what? Sign out click. On sign out click, session storage dot what? Remove item. Which item? Username. After that, window dot location dot reload. It is actually to reload your screen. Now, this sign out should work on this sign out button click. On this sign out button click, on click handle, sign out click. We are using it. Observe now, I will click on, it is still available. I click on sign out, it is signed out. The storage is deleted na? You are entering the username and you click on sign in, then it will sign in. You click on sign out, then it is signed out. This is a basic point of what? Session storage. Session storage. So technically, session storage is going to allocate memory. That memory is accessible only within the tab. It is automatically deleted when you close the tab or when you close the browser. It is not accessible across tabs. This is just only concept. Real implementation we will do next level. In the next phase, when we create a complete example, there we will implement. This is not a login example because login means user ID, password, everything we have to design. I am just explaining the concept of what? Session storage. Understood everyone? Right? So these examples we will implement. These all storages we will implement after learning so many concepts. We will implement all this in one project. In that project, user will have login, sign out, all techniques, which one, which situation also we will see. Another point is there. Later we will implement those techniques as I said. Suppose user logged in. After login, what should happen is for 5 minutes, after 5 minutes it should log out. How? It's not a big deal. Already we know that So for 5 minutes, it should log out. How you log out? You can use set timeout now. So temporarily what I will do, I will write a function. I will write a function, session end function. Okay. What this session end function have to do? It should execute after 5 minutes. Temporarily, I will give only 10 seconds I will give. So it should automatically execute and delete the session. How to delete the session? We have what? Session storage. What is it? Remove item. Which one? Username. After that, I will create an alert. Alert says that your session timed out. Okay. Your session timed out. Please log in. Re-log in. Re-log in. Some message we are giving. And what we have to do? We have to use what? Location dot what? Window dot location dot what? Reload. This line is not required in the next level. When we learn about the hooks detailedly, we can easily implement them. As of now, this session end should happen after 5 seconds of this login. After login, this sign in click. After login, this session end should execute. What we will do, actually what we do, we will verify is mouse moving. We will verify whether key pressed. If mouse is moving, key is pressed, means he is still active. If he is not active for some time, automatically we will sign out. First, how do we sign out? Simple. How do we end the session? Is we will use set timeout. We have timer event now. Which function should call? Session end after suppose 10,000 milliseconds. 10,000 milliseconds means 10 seconds. You learnt a stopwatch now. By using the technique, even you can put the timer also, saying that 5 seconds left, 4 seconds left, 2 seconds left. You see, whenever any ticket booking opens, they will give 5 minutes time, 7 minutes time. After that, it automatically sign out now. Am I right? That means 5 minutes you have to finish the transaction. Otherwise, they automatically sign out because they have to implement this type of technique. Let's see now what I will do. Sign out automatically. Okay, you entered the name and you click on what? Sign in. That means they signed in successfully. After signed in, it will wait for 10 seconds. Those 10 seconds you can show on the screen saying that 10 remaining, 9 remaining, 8 remaining. After 10 seconds, what should happen? It should execute the sign out. Acha, it loaded na actually. I will keep this because it is mounted again. Then here this timeout should be not in sign in click. It should be on what? Use effect. Understood? Set timeout should execute this after loading because component mounted again. Okay, let's run. We entered the name and you click on this sign in. You entered the name and you click on sign in. It signs in. After sign in, it will wait for 10 seconds and it will pop up a message. So that is session timed out. You say session timed out. When I say pre-login, okay, then it will go to that screen and it will show. And you see the session is deleted now. Session is deleted. This is a complete implementation actually we have to do in project. It is executing again and again. This should not happen because we haven't still written all the logic. I just explained a scenario that this is how they do. Okay. Later we will implement in a complete example. This is not required temporarily for you. Only one concept you need to understand. What is it? How to create a session, how to store the data, how to collect the data and show. And what is the purpose of session storage? What is the concept of session storage? This example, first I will copy for you. Remember, we are not implementing a real example completely. We are just learning about the concept, how these will work, which one suits the requirement we need to implement. We need to learn all techniques. Okay. This is the first technique. This is the first technique. This is an example. This is an example for the conditional demo. This is a conditional demo.jsx. Okay. This is what kind of storage? Session. Session storage is temporary and it is available only within the tab. It is available within the tab. Okay. Let's try the same with another concept. What is another storage you are having is you have local storage. Local storage. So JavaScript based applications, they can use these session local storages. Actually, this is the same for Angular, React, Vue, or any JavaScript based technology. Every JavaScript based technology, the concept of handling session in the front end will be similar, same. So these are JavaScript techniques of handling state inside the browser. What is the specialty of local storage? It is permanent storage. It is permanent storage. It allocates memory for page, which is accessible, across tabs, which is accessible across tab. It is available. It is not deleted even when a browser is closed. It is not deleted even when a browser is closed. So you have to delete explicitly. You have to delete explicitly from browser memory. You have to delete explicitly from browser memory. So local storage is same like session storage in methods, but session is temporary. This is permanent. Local storage are permanent. For example, see now here, syntactically, what are the methods we have? Same local storage, set item. We have key and value. We have get item, key. We have remove item. And clear. Clear is nothing but to remove all. Because remember, you can have multiple items. One for password, one for username, one for something else. There can be so many sessions created. One session for username, another for password. That's the reason you observe when you sign out in many websites, your user ID is still available. Only you are signed out from password. Na? You see in Google, when you sign out, your IDs are still available. Am I right? ID is still available, but next time you need to enter password. In some websites, they remove IDs also. You have to re-enter ID and password. They can create multiple sessions. Okay, let's observe the difference now. What is this local storage here is just change the concept. Just now, wherever session storage is used, you change it to, what is it? Local storage. That's it. Wherever session storage is there, we will use local storage. Wherever session storage is there, I will change to local storage. Local storage. Here also local storage dot get item. Okay. Now let's try this example. We are redesigning the same with local storage and see the difference now. So I will refresh here. Okay, this time it is not session storage. It is which storage? Local. In local storage, currently it is empty. Again, I will enter some username and click on sign in. That means it is created. And observe now, I will copy and I will go to another tab and I will open in this tab. Here also it is logged in. Previously it was not. Previously what it was doing? So it was signed out. So now it is still logged in. I can access from any tab. Okay, I will do one thing. Let me close this tab. Okay, you see I closed the complete browser. I closed the browser, open the browser again, and you run this, and you will see that even I closed the browser, the data is still available. It is still available. Even you close, it is still available. Until it is deleted from the memory, it is still available. It is permanent storage. What happens if I stop my app? How to stop the app? So let's open the terminal. In the terminal, currently app is running on this server. Stop the server. Control C will stop. It is asking, do you want to terminate? Yes. Then it is going to stop. My app is stopped now. Server stops. Okay. After server stopped, obviously you cannot request the page because server is not running. Server is not running, your app is not running. Okay. Let's go to inspect. In the inspect, we will go to application. In the application, we have local storage. It is not showing anything. That means the local storage is not present because app itself not running now. We start the app now. npm start. That means whenever the application starts, it is starting the application. When application starts, you see it is still available. That means if application don't start, then server cannot respond. It cannot show you anything because server itself stop. When server allocates, then it will bring the data again from the memory and it will use it. That means this memory is not deleted until you manually delete. You know, you have a browser history now. You clear browser history. When you clear browser history, all browsing data can be deleted. Then it will delete. When you clear the browsing history, it will be deleted. Otherwise, it is permanently available. Even you open tomorrow, it will be there same. Right? Now you have to sign out. I click on sign out. Then it is available. Now it is gone. Now when I open from another tab or any place, you see I refresh here. Again, automatically it has to get that. It is closed in actual. You see, it is again username. So technically, the session storage, local storage difference is session storage is what? Session storage is temporary. Local storage is permanent. So session storage cannot be accessed from another tab. Local storage is accessible across tabs. If anybody asked you a question, can I access from another browser? Can I access from another browser? Not possible, because the memory allocated for a browser is not accessible to other browsers. It is not accessible to other browsers. That is the reason you observed carefully. You log in into Gmail. In another tab, you open YouTube. In YouTube also, you will be logged in. Am I right? It will not ask to log in with user ID password. Which Gmail you logged in, the same account will be used for YouTube also now. In another tab, you log in Drive. Automatically, it will log in into Drive also. It will not ask you to enter password because already you logged in Gmail in one tab. Am I right? You can access across tabs. This is not possible when you are doing bank apps. In bank app, in one tab you logged in, you open in another tab, they will immediately log out. Why? Because they cannot maintain a local storage. It is not safe. They have to maintain which storage? Session storage for you. That is the basic difference. We are just understanding the concept of different state managements available in JavaScript. We will implement them. How do we handle and work with them? We will see that. So this is the session storage and local storage. Session storage will be automatically deleted once you stop. You stop the app, you close the browser, you close the tab, automatically it is deleted. It's not available anytime. Okay. That is the concept of session storage and local storage. I hope you are clear. Same example. We just changed wherever session storage is there. We have changed it to what? Local. Okay. I will copy this now. I will copy and I will put here. This is example of local storage. Conditional render, conditional demo.jsx. Remember, we are discussing this in two concepts. One is conditional rendering, another one is state management. Conditional rendering means the screen changes according to situation. If he already logged in, then it will show his name. If he logged out, then it will ask him to log in. That means our intention is to change the screen according to the situation. And here the situation is state. Every time situation need not to be state. Understood? Every time situation need not to be state. Because in previous example, without state we changed. Na? Without state, what we changed? When user selects layout like card, it will display cards. When user selects grid, it will display as what? Grid. That doesn't depends on whether state available or not. That depends on a value coming from the use state or value. Okay. This is example of local storage and session. Now, actually, in state management, you have another concept, cookies, which is very popular. Majority all websites use cookies for login, including Google and everybody use cookies. Initially, they maintain cookies for login. From the cookies, they have to handle. Okay. Remember, these are all JavaScript topics, not React.js. You are implementing the same in React. These are all JavaScript state management, JavaScript concepts these are. So JavaScript teaches you detailedly what will happen, what will not happen in different situations. These are not React topics. In React, we are implementing JavaScript state management, right? In JavaScript, usually people learn local storage, session storage, how they handle cookies and all these things. Now we need to implement these cookies. What is the speciality of cookie? What is difference between session to cookie? Actually, cookie cookie is a simple text document. Technically, cookie means it is a simple text document. Usually cookies are like notepad files. These days we cannot see them directly because operating systems prevent for security reasons. Few years back, we used to show our learners the cookie file also. Now it is not possible to show. Now operating systems are not allowing that, right? Earlier we can show the file where his information is stored. Somebody logged in, we can show him where his details are stored. That means when he logged in, what details and where those details are stored, we can show the file also, correct file location also available. But now in modern operating systems, they are not allowing that. They are hiding all the system files. And even it is unhidden also, you cannot see these cookies. Not possible, but in browser, you can see that. What is the speciality of cookie? It is a text document. So client details can be stored in a cookie. Client details can be stored in a cookie. And what is the point is cookie is appended into browser memory. Cookie is appended into browser memory. It is appended into browser memory or client hard disk drive. This is hard disk drive. That means permanently in his computer, in his hard drive, it is stored. So hence cookies are classified into two types: in-memory cookie and persistent cookie. In-memory cookie means in-memory cookie is a temporary cookie. In-memory cookie is a temporary cookie. It is deleted when browser closes. It is deleted when browser closes. So it is accessible across tabs, but it is deleted when browser is closed. Persistent cookie is a permanent cookie. Permanent cookie. You can set expiry date for cookie, date and time for cookie, expiry date and time for cookie. So that it is deleted from memory automatically after expiry date. So if you define a cookie, then we have to configure in two ways. The in-memory cookie and the permanent cookie. So majority of websites actually use this cookie as a state management technique. But cookies have one big problem. The problem is cookies are technically text files. You cannot see them as text files, but these days we cannot see them as text files, but earlier they were visible. And even today they are present as text files, but you cannot see those files. You can see only their content. What is problem with text file is text files can be infected with virus. Suppose when you are using internet, now when you are using internet, many people will warn you that don't open this website, virus may come. That is silly thing. Why? Because if I open website, why virus will come? These are all illiterate terms actually. People who don't know knowledge on technology, they speak all these things. If I open a website, why virus will come? That's completely not satisfying. Actually, when you open a website, that website tries to save a cookie in your computer. If you allow, then virus will come. Because virus infection, primary virus carriers on internet are what? Cookies. That is the reason actually recent years only, from past 3-4 years, I think, from past 3-4 years, because of cyber loss, every website have to clearly warn the user saying that we are sending you cookies, you accept or reject. That's the reason from past 4-5 years, I think, or 3-4 years, you see when you open websites, they ask our website are using cookies, allow or reject. Am I right? You see now? But I don't know from how many years you are using internet. Earlier, they don't ask. You know, you are using internet before that? No. Because earlier they don't ask, they directly send. But now the cyber laws are strong and everybody have to follow some rules, standards. Now government have given a clear order that you should tell them that our website is sending some cookies to you. Earlier we don't tell them, we will simply send. Because for login, without a cookie, login concept cannot work. That means it is compulsory that cookie should be stored in his computer. Earlier we don't need to tell them. We don't need to tell them. See, for a person who is completely illiterate, he don't know what is internet. He don't know technically anything. When he opens a website and you are showing a message, accept cookies, what he will understand? What he knows? Even these days, websites are saying that allow cookies, we are using cookies. Do you think majority people know what are cookies? Even you people don't know properly what are cookies until I told you, right? And you are Java .NET developers, huh? And you are using internet. After all, you don't know what happens with a cookie. And you are using internet from so many years. Am I right? That means actually majority of you people, I already told you, na? Majority of you people, when you open Google, you don't know the meaning of second button. Do you know? Don't know. Seriously? In Google home screen, do you know the meaning of second button? Have you seen there is a second button in Google search? How many people you know about it? Seriously? Don't know? From how many years you are using Google, man? Since when you born? Huh? Of course, these days, 2-3 years kids also open Google, YouTube, right? That means you are using since you born. Huh? And many people, after all, don't know the purpose of second button in Google search, right? That means you are using internet without your knowledge. So much is happening there. And everything we don't need to tell you. Actually, do you know Google search have two buttons in search? Professionally, people who knows about Google, they use this button. They will not use this one. Majority you people, when you are searching for any topic on Google, you will type and hit enter. Na? That means you are using the first button. So professional people don't use it. They use second button. People who know about internet and who know about search engines, they never use the first button. They use the second button. Because second button is precise in filtering the data. That means first button will get you a lot of unnecessary data. That means related to your search. But second button exactly gets you the search, what you are looking for. That means the second button plays the key role in searching actually. First button wastes your time. Understood? That means whenever you search the second button, that second button is precise in searching. I am feeling lucky means what? I will get only what I am looking for. I will not get unnecessary spam. First button will give you a lot of spam. You will get so many results which are not related to your search and not required for you. The second button is very precise. It will give you exactly what you are looking for. So websites use cookies, but they don't tell you. Earlier, they don't need to tell, but these days we have to tell because of cyber loss and all, because cookies are virus carriers. If they allow cookies, virus will come. They know that. People know that now. That's the reason we will warn him, saying that we have to send you cookies. Please accept. And we will also tell them that our cookies are safe. You don't worry. He will accept the cookies. Then remember, if you don't accept cookie, sign in option will never work. Understood? Huh? You can use that website only as a guest user. Sign in will not work if you don't accept cookies. You can just use other things. You cannot sign in because sign in completely depends on what? Cookie. Now here, generally to create cookies, we have a library. JavaScript can configure cookies by using DOM object. And what is the DOM object? Document. Actually, that is document.cookie is equal to cookie name is equal to value, expires is equal to date time. All this you need to write like this. But have React cookie library that can manage cookies client side with virtual DOM. React have React cookie library that can manage. So cookie library is not a native library of React, not a native library of React. It is a third-party library. That means internally React.js don't have any library for cookies. You have to download and install a new library, and through that you have to use it. So React have a library called React Cookie. By using this cookie library, you have to manage cookies. In JavaScript, actually, it is directly done by using document.cookie. So what you have to do, how it works, I will show you. Remember, every cookie library is not same. In React also, so many cookie libraries are there. One popular cookie library is what? React cookie. That is library. There are so many cookie libraries where you can get that npmjs.com. You visit that website, so many cookie libraries will come. In that one, best one is React cookie library. It is the library. And what you have to do is, so first install cookie library. You have to install the cookie library. npm install React cookie and save. You have to install the cookie library. Next, what you have to do is import cookie provider into index.js. This is very important. And configure for your startup component. Import cookie provider into index.js and configure for your startup component. In index.js, you have to do this. So first step, what you do is, so open terminal, npm install React cookie and save. I am downloading and installing the React cookie library. Okay. After doing that, go to index.js. Here we have to import. We have to import, what is it? Cookie provider. You have to import the cookies provider from React cookie library. And we have to use it here. In the startup, we have to put which one? Cookies provider. Inside the provider, you need to keep this conditional demo. That means which component you are starting with. What is a provider? What is injector? We are going to learn. That is the concept of a service. We will understand about a service. Now, what happens is this cookies provider is responsible for searching for cookie in memory, get the cookie and provide it to whom? This component. Which component want to use it? It is going to provide it. That means which component should use? For that component, you have to use a cookie provider. You need to define a cookie provider. You have to do it in index.js. So what you have to do, you have to import cookies provider like this. Cookies provider and cookies provider and here your component. Right. That's how we need to configure it. After that, so cookies related, anything if you want to implement, you have to do that by using a hook. It will provide a hook called, you have a hook called use cookies. That is the hook. It is used to create the cookies, get the cookies, remove the cookies. All the actions of cookies are done by a hook called use cookies. So configure and manipulate cookie by using use cookies hook. So you have to import use cookies from React cookie. After that, constant cookies. This is like create cookie, set cookie, remove cookie. So these three things you need to configure. Use cookies and cookie name. Actually, it is an array. In that you have to give cookie name. So that is how we have to handle. So here set cookie. So here you need to define cookie name and value. So remove cookie and cookie name. So cookies and we have to use the cookie name. What is these three? This is first one is to set a cookie. Next one is to remove cookie from memory and read cookie from memory. Actually set have so many options. So you can set persistent cookie. Persistent cookie means permanent cookie by using expiry. Set cookie, cookie name, cookie value, expires how many days. You have to mention the days. Days number. So that is how usually we set a cookie. Remember, if expires is not given, what will happen? If expires is not given, that will be temporary cookie. Automatically it will be deleted when you close the browser. If expire is given, then it will be available till that date. Remember, even you give expiry after 10 days, if anybody deletes it manually, it will be gone. Because in your browser history, you can clear cookies. When you clear cookies, it is deleted. Even they give 10 days expiry. If anybody deleted immediately, it will be gone. So that means permanent means it doesn't mean that you can't delete up to 10 days. It means that it will be available for 10 days or 15 days. Depends. So this is the concept of implement. Now we will put one example. We will see one login, how it works with cookies. Same concept with the help of what? Cookies. That we'll see tomorrow. Right? Remember, these are very important for web development, state management especially. Majority of your interviews, when you practice practical tests also, they conduct on this. Do you know, for freshers in many interviews, when they go to practical round, in the practical round, they say that design one form, collect the data from the form and store in a local storage or session storage. From the storage, again bring it and show. They will not ask any database or anything. They will ask working with session and local storages. So we will see such examples later. First, you need to know the difference between them. Tomorrow, we will see example with cookies, how they work. Okay.